Once again, it has been proven that people are totally biased when it comes to Arsenal. Cast your minds back. What criticism did they used to aim at Arsenal? They're only good at the dark arts. They're so dirty. Arsenal have mastered the dark arts, but they're not very good at football. And then after that, what did they used to say? They're very physical. They've bought every single player over 6'2", 6'3". They're trying to rely only on physicality. They are anti-football. And now they've changed the conversation to Arsenal are only good at set pieces. They always want to try and find something to try and criticise about Arsenal. But let me tell you something. As long as we keep collecting the 3 points, I don't care. I don't care when we win the 3 points, yeah. Like, I don't care. As long as we win the 3 points, I'm genuinely not fussed. I can sit up here and pretend that it bothers me that people keep moaning about Arsenal in these set pieces, but it genuinely doesn't. In fact, I would prefer if we continue to score a set piece in every single game. I know there's a bit of concern out there in the fan base now that Liverpool, have won their first game in ages. Oh my God. Liverpool are back. Let me tell you something. Liverpool are doing exactly what we know they can. They're a good side. They are the Premier League champions, having just won the Premier League. Now they've spent 500 million. They should be beating teams like Aston Villa at home. This shouldn't be like a shock to everyone. Yes, they've not been great lately, but there will become games where they start to play. They have to. Look at the team they've got. Look at the players they've assembled. They're going to win some games. I don't see the consistency being there with Liverpool. This will not be the only patch of form where Liverpool drop points. I expect it to continue throughout the season. Again, they might start winning more games than they have been, but the damage is already done. Look, Arsenal, the only thing we can do, even if Liverpool do go on a run, let's just concentrate on ourselves. Look at our own team. Look at where we excel. Look at that defensive line. Look at how Declan Rice is unbelievable this season, pushing forward. The set pieces, the delivery, the attack. Viktor Gyökeres yesterday was incredible. Probably his best performance in an Arsenal shirt, and it's a shame that he come off. I think a lot of people's opinion was, Mikel Arteta just wanted to rest him, but I saw a couple of things in that first half where I assumed it was injury. You know, when he went down outside the box and Arsenal were on a dangerous attack, and usually Viktor Gyökeres would pop straight back up and try and join the attack to try and nick a goal, but he didn't. He stayed on the floor, and I thought, that's a bit dodgy. And he was frustrated when he come off at half-time as well. He was trying to speak to the ref. It looked like he got elbowed in the face. So Viktor Gyökeres had a tough night yesterday in terms of taking a kick, in terms of getting smacked. But he will be back. I'm hoping it's not a massive injury. At the time of recording this, there just isn't an update. So if anyone has one, by the time you're listening to this, let us all know in the comment section. Because Viktor Gyökeres was so good yesterday. And look, it wasn't just his goal. Even though the goal was brilliant, being there in that set piece moment, look, it could have been anyone, but it just seems Arsenal are so well drilled on these set pieces that they kind of aimed for that to happen. Again, I think it was Big Gabs winning the header, getting it back over to Gyokeres. Gyokeres just being in the right place at the right time. This is what we bought Viktor Gyökeres for. Just be in those areas when the ball drops and finish it off. And that's what Viktor Gyökeres done. But his hold-up play yesterday, but in particular, his link-up play. People have tried slating Viktor Gyökeres by saying, do you know what? He runs a lot. He's quite physical, but he doesn't have that, the panache. He doesn't have that technique. He doesn't have that little link-up play. But that ball to Leandro Trossard was incredible because he could have just slipped Eze in, who was right next to him. But he went for the extravagant ball. He crossed, fielded it all the way to Trossard. Trossard crosses in, and we saw what happened from that moment. A goal is crafted out of it. So it is just so good to have Viktor Gyökeres playing with this level of confidence. We've seen he's had the confidence to make those runs, to be physical, to try and hold the ball up. But that link-up play has just seemed slightly off. People have said it's rustiness. People said he isn't able to do it. For me, it was just a confidence thing. We've had Mikel Arteta come out and say, this boy doesn't lack in confidence, and that's good to know. Because you don't want your striker to have confidence issues. And Viktor Gyökeres is just so... I hope this isn't an injury that keeps him out for a month. Hopefully, I don't know, look, we got a game against Sunderland coming up. So if he has to be rested for that game, fine. But there are some big games coming up that I would really like to have Viktor Gyökeres available for. I want you to let me know who was your man of the match in that Arsenal game, for me, it was Viktor Gyökeres. I know it was only 45 minutes, but the things I saw from Viktor Gyökeres was something different to what we've seen previously this season. I just thought it was very, very good. Look, I've made a couple of notes here. Saka, one-on-one. Again, I think he was laid in by Viktor Gyökeres, opening his body, laying it into Saka. Saka on a one-on-one, on his left foot. Most of us would have put our house or our life on Bukayo Saka scoring that goal, but he missed it, which... he's not going to score every single opportunity. I think people might... To be fair, I don't think people would be bashing Saka for that, because he usually is so clinical that you're allowed to have maybe one that you miss. So for Bukayo Saka to miss that one, okay, fine. I just read it. Viktor Gyökeres on fire. And it was just a game about Viktor Gyökeres. And I think that was noticed in the second half, because when Viktor Gyökeres come off, I thought when Mourinho come on, we did lose something in that attacking sense. Like, we was very, not defensive, but we just lost that edge when we was going forward. Viktor Gyökeres was offering that outlet, was being that guy to link the play. And Mikel Mourinho, people know my thoughts on him. I rate him higher than a lot of people do. I think Mikel Mourinho is brilliant. I know he can play that up front role, but to me, he is way better in midfield. The way he crashes the box, the way he arrives late, the way he, I don't know, just has the ability or the knack to be in the right area at the right time. And when he's playing deeper, they don't really expect it from him to be pushing into those dangerous positions, because he is a central midfielder. When he's a striker, they kind of expect that he will be in those positions, so it kind of gets snuffed out or shut down a lot quicker. So again, I'm not disrespecting Mikel Mourinho in any way, because I've bigged him up so many times on this channel, but we definitely lost something when Viktor Gyökeres come off. The good news is we're not too far away from a Havertz, a Madueke return. When these guys come back, I don't know what we're going to do with this squad. And I'm saying that in a good sense. So many good players already performing, and then you're adding players like that. It is literally going to be the meme where the guy is cooking the chips and he opens the oil, adds the chips in, and then it's just fire everywhere. This team is going to explode with creativity. I think people were expecting Burnley to play that dreaded low block, and they was quite deep. They was in moments actually playing higher than I thought. So they wasn't trying to sit deep and try and snuff Arsenal out. I think teams have tried to do that this season, but Arsenal just seemed different. Like last season, people could have just set up that low block. And Arsenal really, really struggled with breaking that down. I think we've seen, probably over the summer period, Arsenal have worked a lot on breaking down those low blocks. So now teams are probably slightly more hesitant to do that, because they know they're already in a defensive shape. And if Arsenal break through and score, which this season they have been able to do on multiple occasions, straight away they're chasing the game. So I think teams are coming to play against Arsenal a bit more. And I think that actually benefits us, because even last season we saw when teams try to play against Arsenal, that's when you see us do our best work. When gaps open up for players like last season, Odegaard or Declan Rice to explore. This season, players like Eze, Trossard to explore. And again, Trossard was brilliant yesterday. I've not been the biggest fan of Trossard. I mean, in terms of wanting him to start every game, I've constantly said, if there's one position that I think can be upgraded, I think it's that left wing position with Trossard. I would prefer Martinelli to that position. Leandro Trossard was so good. Again, I've always said he has a place in this squad. He's a good squad player. But that performance from Leandro Trossard yesterday was very, very good. I liked what I saw. The back line was strong as always. Another clean sheet. These clean sheets keep coming. And I know it's frustrating people, because I've got people on my line saying, oh, look, you lot are just celebrating because you got another clean sheet. Liverpool won 2-0 against Aston Villa and you're only able to beat Burnley 2-0. I'm like, that's just how it works some weeks. Some weeks we'll beat a team by 3 or 4 and Liverpool might beat a team by only 1-0. It doesn't mean anything. Like, Arsenal won 2-0. There's nothing to be negative about in that result. Liverpool had a good win. Man City are playing today, so what happens with that game, we shall see. But Arsenal are in the driving seat, and that is what most of us want. Continue to win the games. You dictate the position, sit on top, and keep grinding out the 3 points, and let's see where we are at the end of the season. Let me know your thoughts on everything you've heard in this video. Thanks so much to everyone for watching and listening. Before you go, just hit like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you all in tomorrow's video. Gooners, have a good day.